Amazing, no?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you both team together anymore?
Ish. Well,
Truly.
how can I have the answer to that?
But you were working together in 5 films, weren't you? Ash. Ash. Veer Zara was written for you.
Yes, at the time there was talk about a couple of films that we'd be working in together. And then suddenly they weren't happening
Yeah.
with no explanations whatsoever. I'd never have the answer to why.
Shah Rukh said recently in an interview that he regretted it, and he said it was due to his having interfered in your personal life, which he shouldn't have. And that is the reason why you're not teamed together. Is this true?
I don't have the answer to that.
It wasn't your
at
decision?
the time, no, it wasn't my decision.
How did you feel when you were removed from these films, big banners?
See, at the time, I guess when you have no explanation, you obviously are completely taken aback and confused and
Hurt?
of course, and you wonder about it. But
You didn't question Shah Rukh?
it's not in my nature to. I think if a person feels a need to explain it, they will, and if they never did, they never intend to. So it's not in my nature to get into questioning what and why. Probably within myself, but I wouldn't go up to a person and ask why, because by the grace of God, I am not defined by the other. You constantly encounter situations, challenges, and your dignity and strength lies in embracing them and moving forth. And dignity is extremely precious to me, the way I've been brought up, and that's something that that I do hold dear to me.
But, you know, sometimes if you don't respond or if you don't speak out, it's misconstrued as, you know, a sign of weakness.
There's greater strength in silence, believe you me.
You feel?
I know it takes incredible strength
does.
to be silent. It's very easy to scream off rooftops. It's very easy to put out stories. It's very easy to give out all those interviews where you just give vent and you just go paka paka paka. Oh, it's very, very easy to plant stories, to have sources speak for you.
Yeah.
It's tough not to do it. It's amazing how much we think needs to be said and explained.
It does sometimes.
Sometimes, but on hindsight, I have really got to thank that he didn't give me time to sit and brood over it. He didn't make me, you know, I was never put in a position where I was suddenly just sitting there with these films out of my diary and with absolutely nothing happening career-wise,
Sure.
where I'd be wondering, oh, now what? And why? And fret over it and brood over it. And for that, I truly am, I know I keep saying God, 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 but I'm truly very thankful to God.
And actually speaking, Ash, if you had done all those 5 films, you probably wouldn't have had the time to go and work outside
I
Bollywood.
wouldn't have been able to accept, oh yeah, that would have been out of question.
But did that experience change your outlook about the way things work in Bollywood?
You become more aware of what you've heard about, like in terms of situations or people having a dominoes effect on other people or on other projects, you know. So what became obvious is that it can happen to me too, you know, with all your apparent box office success or you know, secure positioning in the industry. Things can happen. You can be faced with situations and circumstances. And I think that's an example that, you know, you really chart your own course.
You can't count on people
I'm
also.
sure you can count on people. That may have been just my one such experience. There are lots of people I've met that I can count on, and there are some that you can't, but that's life. It's accepting that truth rather than mulling over it and questioning it and saying, why? That's life. I cannot tell what's going to happen tomorrow, but probably this is just it. But I'd love to be in love. I think I'm an idea. I'm in love with the idea of being in love.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer.
Ash, for some people, being in love is great. For others, it's complicated. What is it for you?
Life is complicated.
Life is.
It's as was meant to be, I think. Life didn't promise to be any different in terms of it wasn't going to be just one straight path with a definite destination.
But when it ends, it gets complicated. It seems that, you know, men treat you like a prize that they can't let go of. They get obsessive. They, you know, get bitter. How do you deal with that?
You know, without overanalyzing, because at the time you do tend to overthink, you do tend to overanalyze. What's important is to accept reality and to move forth. You have to accept a situation for what it is. When there's reality staring you in the face, there's no point living in denial.
Sure.
And then deal with it and move forth.
But talking about moving forward, I know, I mean, many years have passed now, and I know that you've moved on and he's moved on, but can you look back at the Salman episode objectively?
I think I'd shut it out. I think I wouldn't want to get into looking at it any which way, and especially on a public platform. Sure. I really wouldn't want to.
Do you feel negatively about it?
I've exercised my demons. It's a thing of the past. It needs to be left right there.
Normally, when it's over, it's so out of your system and you don't really care. But you still care about not talking about it or expressing yourself about it. Does it hurt?
I think, and I've said this before, in terms of the reason I choose not to talk about certain situations or certain aspects of my life publicly is because I'm not a soloist.
Yeah.
I am not a person who lives my life on a I, me, myself basis. With me comes my family, my loved ones, people I love and care about very, very dearly. So there is an obvious wall. Yes, there is. There's no denial of it. I know people keep wondering why the wall? Why don't you allow people to get past and to get in touch with the more softer side or the more real aspect or things that have affected you or touched you? But this is why. Because it isn't just me. But it's also the person or the people I will end up talking about. When people label me diplomatic or label me guarded, or someone who does think before she speaks, it's for this precise reason. Because while I am a public person, I haven't lost touch with the fact that I'm a normal girl. And the people I talk about are normal people too, with sentiments, with feelings, with normal relationships in their life, with their parents, with their loved ones, with their families.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's set in the past, let it just remain there.
But it was too tempestuous to sustain, I think, maybe. Tell me, what did you learn from that experience?
I don't know about a particular lesson, but you grow with every experience, and I think that's important. And discovering strengths you do not know exist, and just treasuring the relationships that you have and cherishing them for what they are.
Did it make you wary or cynical?
I would like to believe not cynical.
But wary?
In terms of whether being wary or whether being careful, you're only that careful, you're only that wary. I mean, really, I really haven't gone around putting this blanket judgment on people in general. I'd like to believe I'm not super cynical or, skeptical about people in general. And I'd like to believe I travel light without baggage in terms of my own experiences or in terms of judgment. I don't believe in being judgmental. I like to take people for who they are and give everybody a chance. You give yourself a chance every day, and I give people a chance for what it is, for who they are.
How forgiving are you?
I think extremely. I might not forget, but I am extremely forgiving.
So you can look back at things with a forgiving eye?
I'd like to believe people are as human as they are, with their own strengths and their own limitations and their own weaknesses, their own securities, their own insecurities. I mean, that's what makes people who they are. You can be disappointed from time to time. You can be overwhelmed by a lot of people. But that's a reality that I accept.
In the balance, would you say that men have brought you happiness or unhappiness? Relationships?
They bring you the gamut of emotions. Relationships do. And probably that's what you see from there to here, from 8 years ago to today. Experience is enriching. It's a gift. It's all of this that's made me who I am today. The good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, everything.
For a girl who said, I'm in love with the idea of love, and I can't wait to be in love. I'm a dreamer. Did it turn out as you dreamt?
I have grown. I have grown enriched by experience.
Did it turn out as you dreamt?
Life is way real. That's the way I prefer it. Real is good, and you live it.